Good day, how you going? What do you know? Don't strike a light. Good day, and how you going? Just say good day, and you'll be right.
Welcome to the Midweek End Times News and Trends Briefing as we share major events and what is happening around the world as it relates to Bible prophecy. Today's date is Wednesday, September 14th, 2016. First of all, I just want to say thank you so much for those who have tuned into this channel. We're appreciative of your support and for checking us out. And for those who have been tracking the last week and a half, thank you for your prayers. Concerning my health. Still sick, still trying to get through this flu, bronchitis thing that's really set me back big time. Makes you more appreciative of the health that we have when we are healthy. And so I pray that each and every one of us would not take for granted our health, and it also allows you to be a little more compassionate for those who are not feeling well, those who are not doing well physically, emotionally, mentally, or even spiritually. So we need to make sure we've got the compassion and the heart behind just reaching out to people in the love of Christ, whether it's family members or others outside. Anyways, I'm going to try to get through this brief update as best I can. We do see a lot of instability that's been happening in the Middle East, especially with Iran, as tensions are rising with them. On Tuesday, out of Reuters had this article talking about how Iran launches a new Navy ship as tensions rise with U.S. and the Gulf. And so Iran's Revolutionary Guard launched a new 50-meter-long naval ship on Tuesday that is capable of transporting helicopter and up to 100 men, according to the website of state TV. The ship's launch at the Bay of Persian comes at a time when the tension's high between Iran and the United States over Gulf waters. The U.S. officials said that there's been over 30 close encounters between U.S. and Iranian vessels in the Gulf so far this year, over twice as many in the same period last year. On September 4th, the U.S. Naval Coastal Patrol changed its course after Iranian Revolutionary Guard fast-tracked craft came within 91 meters of it in the Central Gulf, and at least the fourth of such incidents in the last month. This particular ship increases the deterrent power of Iran and will have the effect of calculations of enemies, particularly America, according to the Revolutionary Guard chief, as he said at the launch. He did not say whether the ship was equipped with any weapon capabilities. A photo post on the state site showed helicopters sitting on the top deck of the ship. There was also a posted on the side of the ship at the launch read, "America should go to the Bay of Pigs. The Persian Gulf is our house," which was a reference to the botched U.S. attempt to overthrow Cuban leader Fidel Castro in 1961. So we see the tension continues to rise there, even as this other report, as Fox News said on Tuesday, that Iran threatened to shoot down U.S. Navy planes in the Persian Gulf. So they threatened to shoot down 2 U.S. Navy planes, surveillance aircraft flying too close to Iranian territory in the Persian Gulf over the weekend. The latest in the series of recent provocations between Iran and U.S. military in the region. 3 U.S. defense officials with the knowledge of the incident told Fox News. On September 10th, one of these aircraft with a crew of 9 and another one with roughly of that of 24 were flying a reconnaissance mission 13 miles off the coast of Iran in the Strait of Hormuz and the Gulf of Oman, according to officials. Iran territorial waters, like all nations, extend 12 miles into the sea, according to international maritime law. At the point during the flight, the Iranian warned the two aircraft to change its course or risk being shot down. The U.S. militaries ignored the warnings and continued to fly in this international airspace, and although close to Iran territory, officials told Fox News. And one of the officials says, "We wanted to test the Iranian reaction." The Fox News said why the U.S. jets were flying close to Iran. They said, "It's one thing to tell someone to get off your lawn, but we weren't on their lawn," the official continued. "Anytime you threaten to shoot someone down, it's not considered professional." The official of the Iranian behavior was characterized unprofessional. Another official said that the incident was not considered unsafe because there's no Iranian missile launchers in the area, according to the latest intelligence report. So this latest incident between U.S. military and Iran is just a series of confrontations within the region. It is a very hostile region. Tensions are rising, and it's going to continue to get worse as time goes on. On to another issue, kind of a moral issue, which is also a part of this campaign that's been going on in the U.S. But Vice President nominee for Hillary, Tim Kaine, tells gay Catholic Church opposition to same-sex marriage is going to change. So this report came out on Monday out of Brett Bart. He said that over the weekend, he told a room full of LGBT activists that the Catholic Church's opposition to same-sex marriage would change because God approves of homosexuality. So obviously he's deceived and never read his Bible. The Virginia senator, who describes himself as a traditional Catholic, spoke to the National Dinner of Human Rights campaign on Saturday, assuring them of his complete unconditional support of marriage equality. While acknowledging that his position on gay marriage is at odds with the current doctrine of the church that he still attends. And he goes on to say that he thinks it's going to change as well, the doctrine of the church, which is not going to happen. Playing the armchair theologian, Mr. Kaine, said that his support of homosexuality is rooted in the teaching of the Bible and specifically Genesis. He goes on to say that I think it's going to change because my church also teaches me about a creator. In the first chapter of Genesis, who surveys the entire world, including mankind, and says it's very good. It's very good. He said in an apparent reference to God's acknowledged approval of homosexual practice. He then also went on to suggest that the opposition to gay marriage means to challenge God. And I want to add, who am I to challenge God for the beautiful diversity of human family? I think we're supposed to celebrate it, not challenge it. The same-sex marriage is not the only issue where Kaine parts ways with the Catholic Church. He calls himself a strong supporter of Roe v. Wade, and his perfect pro-abortion voting recorded in Congress earned him a 100% rating from the abortion giant Planned Parenthood and praise from the National Abortion Right Action League. While the abortion lobby showered Kaine with praise, several U.S. Catholic bishops have challenged Kaine's claim to being a faithful Catholic and citing his open dissent from essential moral teachings of the Church. Now, for example, if Tim really actually read his Bible, he would have actually seen, when he was quoting out of Genesis, was saying the opposite of what his theology was teaching him. In Genesis 1, again, God blesses mankind, creation, with the words, be fruitful and multiply. That's only going to happen through heterosexuals by design who can do this. And this is why, to this moment, no homosexual couple, whether male, two guys or two females, homosexuals across the board, have ever been blessed by God with the ability to procreate by themselves. It is physically, biologically impossible. And this sets the pattern for the rest of the Bible, where only marital relationships blessed by God, without exception, are heterosexuals, with male and female being uniquely designed for one another biologically, emotionally, and spiritually. According to, again, Genesis chapter 1, that Paul even explains in Romans chapter 1 that homosexuals are contrary to the nature of what God intended. The natural plan for man and woman to be together. And it's also based on Genesis 1 that Jesus also explains in Matthew 19 that marriage is intended by God from the beginning. It is a lifelong union between man and woman, male and female. And so, again, Mr. Tim is the one who needs to change, not the Word of God. And he's twisting his the Scriptures into his thinking. And so this is what so many people are guilty of. They twist Scriptures to suit what they want. And people are deceived in that, and many people are going to take what Tim says thinking, oh, he must know the answers, he must know his Bible, and his thinking and his belief, they'll take on the same idea. So this obviously must be true. And so it just complicates things that much more for the voters out there when they're not properly informed in what the truth is. Onto a separate issue, but still dealing with the election process. And it just shows you the deception of a left-winged, biased companies. For example, Google's search bias protecting Hillary Clinton confirmed an experiment on Tuesday. This report came out of Breitbart. And then in a report published by Sputnik News, psychologist Robert Epson revealed evidence that Google has been manipulating results relating to Hillary that may shift as many as 3 million votes in the upcoming presidential election. Earlier this year, Matt Lieberman of SourceFed published a video that claimed Google's autocomplete suggestions were biased in favor of Clinton. The video went viral. An abridged version went to be viewed over 25 million times on Facebook. Epstein set out to his colleagues at the American Institute of Behavioral Research to investigate the claims. They concluded that whilst the investigation was ongoing, their report generally supports Lieberman's video. In order to test the result, Epson and his associates tested hundreds of different response terms related to the election using Yahoo Bing search as a control. Each search was also conducted through proxy servers, such as the Tor network, to make it very difficult for Google to identify the researchers and thus customize the search results for them. So what you see here, again, is the Democrats will do whatever they can to deceive, to cheat the system, because they know that crooked Hillary can never really get into office unless they have to manipulate the way, because they know she's an absolute disaster of a candidate who cannot win this election. So they're going to try to steal the election or do whatever they can, and that's if she can continue through the process, unless she drops out of the race, and then the whole Democratic Party will have to do something a little different. So it wouldn't be surprising if that happens. And then finally on a trend, because I just don't think I can add any more onto this with my health right now. But the trend that's also been increasing over the years is the violence. We've seen so much hatred and aggression behavior increased over the years. And much of this hatred and increase leads to murder. There was a case study that was done through the New York Times, and they had an article last week that talked about murder rates rose in a quarter of the nation's 100 largest cities. So this came out of the New York Times, and where it talked about the murder rates that rose significantly in 25 of the nation's 100 largest cities last year, according to the analysis of the New York Times of data compiled by individual police departments. The findings confirm a trend that was tracked recently in a study published by the National Institute of Justice, and the homicide increase in the nation's largest cities was real and nearly unprecedented, according to the author of the study, who was Richard Rosefield, a criminology professor at the University of Missouri St. Louis, who explored homicide data in 56 large cities in America. In the Times analysis, half of the increase came in just 7 cities: Baltimore, Chicago, Cleveland, Houston, Milwaukee, Nashville, and Washington. Chicago had the most homicides, 488 in 2015, far more than 352 in New York City, which had 3 times as many people. Baltimore had the largest increase, 133 more than 2014, and the second highest rate in 2015, after St. Louis, which was 59 homicides per 100,000 deaths. The article does go on to talk about how the Times analysis was collected over 30 years of homicide data from the FBI through 2014, and then gathered 2015 data from the local police departments in 100 cities. And so since the crime rates fluctuate from year to year, we can use the statistical technique to determine places where we can definitely say that the rates were rising. So this is just one of those other trends we need to watch for and pay attention to, and it's the signs of the times. We see the violence increasing, we see pestilences and diseases increasing, earthquakes in various places increasing, natural disasters, the wars and rumors of wars. Everything's escalating exactly as Jesus said at the signs of the times before Jesus comes back. These are things are going to happen. These are trends to pay attention to. So that's it for today. I apologize for the stuffiness and the coughing and moving around like this. Hopefully next week will be a little bit better. And so again, thank you for your prayers and your support, and I will talk to you later. God bless you. Bye.